biologically, the Earth has so much energy in itself, and it's got the ley lines and these points to where just energy exudes from, and it just takes something so small, like literally a little tower in a certain area with the rock that can push that wave on and spread it, can make things in that exact environment or exact area grow so much faster, and people more healthy that grow up near these areas. And it's little things that we want to ignore because we're told that's just not possible, it's not real. And instead we believe what's fake.
Absolutely, and it's like everything they tell us on TV is a lie. Like they sit there and say, oh, well, you better go out and buy these CFL bulbs because we're running out of oil and we're running out of energy. I just posted something in the featured videos. If you go to videos on Project N Search, it's at the top left, a 2004 Dodge truck that's been running on water for 3,000 miles plus. It's just the prototype system. They made it. It doesn't run down the battery. It's using the Stanley Meyer technology. This isn't something brand new. This has been around for decades and decades.
They've been trying for a while. I actually downloaded all of their images, all their paperwork to go the background on how you can do it. I actually have, like, when it first came out, I guess a few months ago, I have all of that on my computer as well, which is so funny. But it's amazing to see this truck, for real. You wouldn't think it can. I mean, even if it goes 20 miles an hour, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it runs
but it's not.
Fine. I mean, it's using this. It looks like they're using very similar technology to Stanley Meyer. Are they still posting all their stuff?
Yes,
making it
they
public?
have updates. They have updates. In fact, they have a few. I can also pull up their YouTube channel.
See, that's what it's going to take. See, Stanley Meyer was a brilliant man, but he made one big mistake. He tried to keep it secret, and he was the only guy that knew how to do it. So they poisoned him at that meeting. I don't know if you ever read about that, but him and his brother and supposedly two guys from the UN or something were at a restaurant, and one of them must have slipped something in his drink because he ran out of the restaurant, said he was poisoned, collapsed, and that was it. He never regained consciousness. His brother
that's
said
like that in those heart attacks that happen to people that have no reason. Like Bob Beck, Dr. Bob Beck was one of them. He mysteriously had a heart attack out of nowhere when he was trying to spread these free cures, that would basically take down all drug companies. So.
Right. I mean, these guys are doing it right, because where Meyer messed up is he should have had a whole team behind him saying, hey, if anything happens to me, Plan B goes into effect immediately, and we just give away everything possible because, you can't sit there and think that you're going to protect this with a patent or whatever because some companies are either going to buy it and sit on it like they've done throughout history, or they're just going to kill you for it, and know that it's just going to disappear like it did for him. But thank God these guys, they've stayed after it, and they've used their own money, and they've got this technology. And I know that I just, I don't know 100%, but I just feel in my gut that it's real. And I'm trying to reach those guys as well. Have you tried to interview those guys? Because I tell you what, if you could ever reach them, I would love to be a part of that.
There's them I haven't tried yet, but I've been watching them for quite a while now. There's also someone else. I'll send you a link when we get done here, but this guy basically has been able to find out seriously the old ways that show that we are really energy. Everything is energy, and you really don't need anything to produce energy, and and he has it. He's and it's free and here, and and it's a great speech he goes off, and he really did. And then he was responding to President Obama's call for, and if anybody has any ideas or ways for this free energy to come out, he's like, hello, it's me. I know exactly what to do.
Anything that's actually going to work, they're never going to do. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just want everybody in the world to see this video with that truck. I want all those plans disseminated throughout the entire planet. I want machine shops making this stuff all over the place. That's how we're going to beat these guys. Just get rid of this oil. The oil's a scam. That's how they control us. The medical system's a scam. Learn how to secure yourself, because when society collapses, you're going to have, at some point it will collapse, while we root out these guys and we bring in another type of government at some point. But there is going to be a point where there's not going to be a doctor. You know, you're not going to be able to go to the doctor and get stuff. You better be able to have some stuff on hand to take care of yourself if things do go down the hill.
That and maybe get outside and get your body used to the world around you, because seriously, that's, in my opinion, what causes most kids like asthma and other things. They never go outside. They never breathe in any pollen. They never get experienced any grass, mold, or anything else. So when they first get out, they get so sick.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Just living in a bubble.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to have to take a quick break. This is disappearing so quickly. And if I can't find their site real quick, I'm going to grab the video from your website and at least post that. But other than that, Freedomizers, I have all this. I even have all the pictures on my computer. So I'll put something together for
Okay, yeah,
as well.
Just hit the video button and it's one of the featured up at the upper left. You should still see it. And I'll talk to you in a little bit when you come back.
All right, perfect. All right, Freedomizers, everybody hold on. Let me find some quick...
You are listening to Freedomizer Radio, where Freedomizers freedomize freedom.
All right, everybody, we're back. Sorry, I usually take a longer break, but yeah, I get so into this kind of conversation.
That's okay. I just want to tell everybody out there in your audience that, as you see, the noose is tightening right now. I mean, it's definitely, you got Department of Homeland Security seizing websites already. Now, of course, they're going to say, oh, these were pirate websites, but that's just the first salvo. The next salvo will be, oh, this guy copied an article, on Infowars.com or something. It'll be whatever, and it'll be trying to shut down sites like our own. Or they'll be trying to say, oh, you're a domestic extremist, like they're saying that if you don't go through the body scanner, they're calling you a domestic extremist already. So this is where it's going, people. You got to get going here, and it's not just enough that you know this stuff. I know everybody listening probably is very aware of the New World Order, but how many of your family and friends are? Yeah, I know some people won't wake up, but just leave them be. Go wake up 5,000 people on Facebook, like I did in a few months. I mean, literally, just go out there, add 5 or 10 new friends a day. You'll be at 5,000 friends in a few months. You got to use this internet while you can, because we are having an effect out there, I promise you. I'm waking up. I mean, I love to post the stuff about George Bush and his links to Satanism through Skull and Bones and Bohemian Grove, because I will sit there and rebuke all the Christians out there and saying that you have an obligation to God to research this for yourself and basically rebuke this evil if you come to the same conclusion, because there is no doubt. Once you look at it, you know he was a member of Skull and Bones, and that's for life. You don't just get out of Skull and Bones. So for George Bush to be a true Christian, he would have had to renounce his membership in Skull and Bones, said that it was a mistake, that he's not in any secret societies and so forth. But we all know he did not do that. So he is a nothing but a fraud, and he's a Satanist, because anybody that goes to Bohemian Grove all the time like he is, where they do child sacrifices, is a Satanist. So, I'll just put it in all these Christians' faces, because, I'm sick of these Christians sitting there saying that they love George Bush, because you got to wake up, people. I'm not going to let you get away with you. I love George Bush. You're gonna embrace his evil, and if you still like George Bush after you find out all the stuff about his family, then you're a fraud, and you're allowing evil to continue as well. So that's what I like waking up people on Facebook, because you'll reach some people that have no idea what you're talking about, and all of a sudden they're like, whoa, I didn't know he was in Skull and Bones. I didn't know anything about a Bohemian Grove. So, I mean, you can do it out there. Every single one of you listening. You can add 10 new friends on Facebook. You don't even have to know these people. Go into Republican groups, Libertarian groups, Democrat groups. It doesn't matter. I got the perfect message just to send them. Send them a message that says, nice to meet a fellow patriot. That's all you got to say. What are they going to say? No, I'm not a patriot? Of course they're going to be your friend. And then you just you post truth to them. You don't ram it down their throats. You just start posting your regular truth. And after a few months, they're going to be starting to respond back to you. You'll be amazed. They will wake up. And they can't stop us all on Facebook. I'm telling you that right now. Yes, we know there's government agents all over Facebook. We know this, but there's government agents everywhere. So don't be afraid. Go out there, go door to door, give out flyers, business cards. I mean, you've got to touch everybody you can. And that's the only, because we're awake, okay? It's up to us. We're like the Paul Reveres out there. And if we don't do it, you know, your dumb neighbor that's such a Fox News head that thinks everything on Fox is real, he's not going to do it. He's asleep. So it's up to us. We have to go wake up thousands of people ourselves. That's what it's going to take. We can't just sit there and say, well, I told my neighbor about it, and he seems on board. That's not good enough. You know, you got to go tell every person you touch. Doesn't matter if they think you're a fool. You know, somebody else won't. You know, and you'll meet so many cool friends on Facebook. You know, who knows? You might meet your future wife on Facebook. Who knows? But just get out there and do whatever you can. And because we're on a limited time frame here, and they're tightening their news, but at the same time, we're having successes. Don't you feel that we're having successes, Nikki?
Very much so, actually. I'm seeing more and more people, even younger people, curious more than anything else because it seems like the agenda has become so much in a, I don't know, overdrive right now that, I mean, it seems like there's either that or maybe it's just so obvious now. I'm really not sure. But
I think you're right, though. They're having to uncover the velvet glove with the iron fist underneath, and the iron fist is out in the open now. And that's why they're sitting there, telling women, what's this, and it's like, take off this prosthetic breast, I mean, we want to make sure that it's not a bomb. I mean, this is insane. And guess how many terrorists have TSA ever caught? Zero.
Were they FBI created or?
Yeah. And the whole reason for it was all government-sponsored terror. I mean, the underwear bomber was led onto the plane by our own government. They never tell you that on the CIA fake news in this country. Never once have I ever seen the mainstream news show the links that showed that underwear bomber was led onto the plane by our own people. Because if they said that, everybody would be like, what? They let a bomber on the plane, and that's the excuse they use for me to walk through a naked body scanner and get, I just posted something about those body scanners, too, because everybody's sitting there saying, oh, well, it's not dangerous. It's only like 15 seconds of, at 30,000 feet.
It's all because of the world we live in.
Yeah, it's like you believe that. I guess you believe that the swine flu shot's wonderful. But it was a letter that I posted. I think the title of the post was like, read this before you go through a TSA naked body scanner, because it was from the University of California faculty, and they basically said, here's the deal. You're putting a massive amount of X-ray energy into the skin only, and the skin is such a tiny percentage of your body. If you look at it that way, you're giving the skin a massive dose, and this is, on men, the reproductive parts all exposed. You're putting it all on the skin. This has never been done before, and they're sitting there saying, how do you know the power levels are going to remain constant? What if the software has glitches and it exposes one part of the skin to more, and then all of a sudden it starts cancer there? I mean, these are all questions that have never been answered, and think of the pure evil that could be done with these body machines, these scanners. I mean, literally. I mean, you have to think like a total evil person, because that's who's running the show at the very top levels. What would stop them from having the scanner, you step into the scanner, and all of a sudden it immediately identifies you as a domestic extremist, and then the software just gets tweaked so that for that one scan, it cranks up the old power to full bore, gives you a mega dose, nobody else around you even knows, and then 2 or 3 years later, you come down with massive cancers, and of course, you'll never be able to prove that it came from the naked body scanners. I mean, that's possible for a sick individual to tweak those machines, and just think, it could be worse than the Nazi ovens ever were, because it's right out in the open, and people are willingly going through them, just like, oh, well, this is for my security, I mean, I don't trust these people. Anybody that trusts this government after they've been caught again and again lying about everything is a fool. I mean, it's just